God. Ask God.
Hey Scott, how's it going? My name is Ursi, and I've been listening to you for about 2 weeks now. Just want to tell you I'm very appreciative of what you're doing. I'm listening to you every day during my commute back and forth, and have really learned a lot. It's almost like you're my private mentor that has all the answers. Literally, I feel like I'm getting new answers for every episode that you write. So, just thank you very much for that. I'm sure everybody else is very much appreciative of it. And there's just one thing that I've been kind of unclear about as I'm starting my FBA journey. So let's say I pick a product, and I've contacted a supplier. I got the samples. I really like what I'm seeing, and I reply back to them saying, okay, we can go ahead and go through with our first order. Now, how does it work as far as packaging, or with my UPC code and branding? Like, how does all that work? Am I emailing this stuff to them, and do they have to print out my logo or whatever the case might be and stick it on the package? Or I'm, like I said, I'm new at this, so I'm not sure how it all works out. So if you can answer that for me, I really appreciate it. And keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Hey, Ursi, thank you so much for the question. And we've talked about this before, and I know that there's a lot of stuff that we've already covered on the podcast, but I'm going to answer this briefly here on this episode. But I would urge anyone that does have questions to even just go over to the blog and use the search field and just type in like your question. So in this case, it would be like UPC codes or FNSQ or packaging, and you'll get anything that was discussed in these blog posts. We are also, I should have probably mentioned this earlier, we are also including transcripts to all of the episodes now. So you can even search the blog, and if it's something that was said in the show notes, it'll come up. So it makes it easy to search the stuff as well. So again, just wanted to say that if you guys wanted to check out the show notes, again, this episode is 202. So that'd be theamazingseller.com/202. And then the transcripts are there for you as well. Okay, but let's go ahead and answer this question, because I do get this question quite often, especially from people that are just getting started. So the quick answer is this, is like, if you're just testing a product, you don't necessarily have to brand it. Okay, because if you're just doing a test order, you don't necessarily have to do that. Now, you will need a UPC code in order to create your listing. That you will need. Amazon will only allow you to create a listing, okay, if you have a UPC code. So you'll need that, but you don't necessarily need it on the package. Now, I believe that you should have it on your package because this way here, if you ever wanted to go retail, you could, but also it identifies your product better from a hijacker. So if you have a hijacker, it's another mark on your package that you could claim as yours, okay? You can even have it printed on the inside of the box, all right? So the UPC code you need to create the listing. Amazon requires that, but you don't need it on your box, but it's a good idea. Now, if you are going to directly ship it to Amazon, or even just ship it in without directly shipping it, but you're going to ship it yourself or whatever, you're going to have an FNSQ number on there. Okay, that's a number that Amazon gives you for that product. That's their UPC code in a sense. That's their identifier. Now, you can have them label it. It'll be 20 cents. They'll label it for you, and they'll label it right over top of your UPC code so they don't get confused. So if you have a UPC code, it's going to be covered up by this label. Or if you know your FNSQ number, which you can find in the back end of your listing, once you create it, you can then just print that barcode on your package from your supplier, and then you're off to the races. They're going to go ahead and be able to scan that. Okay, but to simplify things, you might just want to have them do it at first. To answer your question though, as far as like branding goes, those are things that you're going to have to create, okay? You can have them print it right on the box, right on the packaging, and it is a good idea to do that because now, again, it creates your unique package to your brand. So this way here, if someone is going to jump on your listing as far as a hijacker or something like that, you'll be able to prove easier, okay? Not always easy, but it's easier if you have a mark on your packaging or if your packaging is unique. So moving forward, you're probably going to want to have some type of unique packaging, okay? Or insert card or something that identifies your product to make it more unique. Now, again, you don't have to have this. Amazon doesn't require it at this time. Now, I was talking to a few people at the event that we were at, and some people were saying, like, I think eventually Amazon's going to start cracking down on people just submitting stuff in a poly bag. And that may be the case, okay? So probably sooner than later, you're going to want to go ahead and have some type of unique packaging, okay? But for you, if you're just starting, you want to get some, product in there and you want to get it tested and you want to see if this thing's going to move at all, then, simplify that process. Use one of their stock boxes, one of their stock packaging, and then just dress it up with your logo, with your branding. So this way here, you at least have it marked with your stuff. Now, in the beginning, if you're ordering samples and stuff, they're going to charge you an additional fee to put your mark on it, even in a sample. That may not need to be. You may just have them send you a sample so you can see the quality of the product and not necessarily have to go through and have them spend the extra time and the money to brand your logo on there. Now, if you have something that you're afraid that if you market, like let's say that you put your brand name on the plastic, let's say on a handle, and you're afraid that it's going to rub off, then yeah, you might want to have them do that so you can see the quality of it when they print it. That may be something. But if you're just printing something on a box, you don't necessarily have to have your stuff on there. It may be a good idea if you're going through some custom boxing and stuff like that at that stage. But right now, again, we're trying to get product to market so we can get it there to see if we can get some traction. All right. So hopefully that's answered your question. Again, on the blog, there's a ton of information that we've talked about this in the past. Just go there and search for whatever you are, asking questions about or whatever, right there in the search field. And I'm sure that there'll be definitely some blog posts or podcasts that we've talked about certain topics that you might be, maybe interested in at this time. That goes for anyone listening right now, not just this one question. But again, thank you so much for the question. Hopefully that's helped you. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this. And that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.